If you are looking to get the brand new WOLFSBANE Heavy Exotic Axe as a solo player in approximately 15 to 20 minutes, I've got you covered. Going to show you exactly how to do it. Step one is you're going to want to, of course, launch the mission. You can do that by going to the portal and heading to the Pinnacle Ops playlist. Here you will find the Heliostat Exotic mission. And if it's your first time doing the mission, it will default you to normal difficulty regardless of what your power level is. And obviously, I'm assuming this is your first time doing this since you're watching the guide as a solo player to be able to do this for the first time and unlock the exotic axe. In terms of loadout, nothing in particular that you need on normal difficulty. The combat challenge of this mission is not too severe. The only things I would recommend bringing that are going to make the mission a lot easier for you, both from a traversal perspective and from a combat perspective, is number one, the Mint Retrograde Rocket Pulse Rifle. This thing absolutely cuts through any of the tanky enemies and the bosses in the mission, and it makes getting through a lot easier and quicker. Number two is going to be the grapple grenade, specifically for the traversal areas and some of the jumping puzzle parts. And then finally, an eager edge sword. Again, none of these three things are required by any means. They're just going to speed up they're going to speed up you getting through the mission and just make your life a little bit easier as you're going through. The only other thing I want to mention is while we're still flying in, after we finish the guide for the solo mission, we're going to jump into the shooting range, and I'm going to show you how much damage the WOLFSBANE Exotic Axe does. Sword? Axe? Sword. I'm going to show you how much damage it does, how the perks work and all that, and we're going to see how it is and see if it's actually a weapon worth getting. So, how do you do the mission itself? We're going to fly into the mission to start. There's going to be a couple of Cabal enemies that you can kill. You don't have to kill them, technically, but we'll go ahead and kill them just to make things a little cleaner as I show you guys the mechanics and whatnot and how this entire mission works. So the main idea with the mechanics of this mission is the entire way the mission works is you have these things that look like rally flags, but they actually allow you to call in Scion helpers that are going to help you with the mechanics of the mission. There are 3 different mechanics and subsequently 3 different Scions. The first is a radiation shielding Scion. Throughout the mission, you'll see these nodes that'll make these radiation expanding things, kind of like Nezaracted and Root of Nightmares. They'll just do a little bit of damage to you as you're standing them. As you can see, I have radiation poisoning, and they make you a lot slower, but they really don't hurt you all that much, to be completely honest. The way you get around them, though, is with the radiation shielding Scion. If you call it in, and then you stand next to it, he will give you a radiation bubble, and then that makes you completely immune to the effects of the radiation poisoning. Again, though, I'm not going to lie. If you have, like, Grapple Grenade and an Eager Edge Sword or something like that, this is where we could theoretically call in another Radiation Shielding Scion. But with stuff like Eager Edge and Grapple Grenade, you really can just kind of run past them. Really not that big of a deal at all. So once we get past those two, we're going to hop up into the left into this tube, take a 90-degree turn to the right to keep on going down the tube, take another right turn, slight left, and then we're going to run into our second type of Scion, which is the Quicksilver Scion, aka the door-opening Scion. The way this Scion works is there are going to be doors in the mission that kind of have this, there's these like branches on them, sort of. I think it's Quicksilver, right? And so the way this works is anytime you see these, you're also going to see a Radiolaria Minotaur that when you kill it will drop a puddle of Radiolaria. Stepping in that puddle of Radiolaria will give you Radiolarial Suffusion, which is a meter that will fill up as you stand in the puddle. And when it fills all the way up, the buff will transform into Radiolarial Saturation. Once you acquire Radiolarial Saturation, your Quicksilver Scion will immediately run up to a Quicksilver door and start interacting with it. And that will then allow you to walk up to it and interact with the door to dunk your Radiolarial Saturation into it to open the door. A lot of fancy names to basically say, call in Scion, kill Minotaur, stand in puddle, Scion will run up to door, interact with door. That will then take you into the first room of the actual mission where we have to destroy 4 security nodes. The first security node is going to be directly in front of you. You just shoot it, and that blows it up. The other 3 security nodes, you need to access through Quicksilver doors that you can only get through with the assistance of the Quicksilver Scion and the Radiolarial Saturation buff. So we're going to kill some goblins until we spawn a Minotaur that we can then, of course, kill to get that puddle on the ground so we can start getting that buff. So once you kill all the goblins, we're going to get a Minotaur that's going to come up right there, blast him, stand in the puddle, and then the very second that our Radiolarial Suffusion meter fills all the way up at the top of our screen and turns into Radiolarial Saturation, the Quicksilver Scion is going to immediately start running towards a door, and we will follow him there to help him open it. First door is always going to be this back one. So we'll interact with it, open the door, and then we can simply run into this room. You don't have to kill these ads. You can just run in, shoot the security node, and then get out. And then from there, it's just rinse and repeat 2 more times. We're going to clear out all the goblins, spawn in 2 additional minotaurs, and then we can open 2 more Quicksilver doors to destroy the 2 additional security nodes. So, just go ahead and continue nuking all these enemies, kill the Hydra, stand in the puddle. And again, the Scion will not run to a Quicksilver door until your meter is all the way full and transformed into radial aerial saturation. So you can basically always stare at the Scion as you're in the puddle, and then the second you get full on the meter, you can watch to see where he goes so you can follow him there. So we'll run in here. Again, not going to worry about any enemies. Okay, give that a quick shot. 3 security nodes out of 4 down, and then we can go ahead and continue on with our business. Kill all of the adds. Spawn in 1 final Minotaur so we can get that buff, and then be on our way. As we kill the adds, good time to mention, if you're enjoying the guide so far, you find it helpful, make sure to like the video and maybe even subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. Wouldn't mind. Would appreciate it. Thanks. Anyway, there's our Minotaur. Tanky one, but the Mint Retrograde, dead in 2 seconds. Radial Aerial Suffusion gonna happen. Turn to Radial Aerial Saturation. The final door will be over here on the left side, so I'm just automatically gonna start running over there, because I know the Scion's going to come over here. I'll meet him. We're going to go ahead and help dissolve the barrier. And then we're going to run around here, shoot the final node, and that'll be that. Now, before we continue, take note of your orientation. This is where we entered from, by the way. This is where we entered this room. You're going to continue the mission by jumping down underneath where you killed the very first security node. However, right when you jump down, you want to turn around 180 degrees, and there will be a console that you can interact with right here and activate. That'll say access granted. Now, after you activate this console, you're going to notice that there's a ton of doors around the room. A lot of these doors will zap you with electricity if you try and go into them. So, like, typically, you'll still be standing there when the door opens. That electricity will kill you. It's bait. So, a lot of these doors are bait except for one of them. Allegedly, I was told this, I didn't confirm it. Oh, okay, so I think that is true. The way you know if a door is bait, apparently, is if there is no light on the ceiling, that means the door is bait. So, I already know this because I ran the mission, but from the perspective of the console, if we turn around 180 degrees from the console, and then we run all the way back, and we go to the back left door from that previous perspective, as we can see here, this door, oh yeah, look at that. You guys were right about that. It has a blinking light at the top of the door. And this is indeed the correct door that you'll take. It will not shock you with lightning. So we'll go through there and we'll continue on. Once you get into this room, I want to test this theory again. No blinking light. Jump up here. No blinking light. The correct door is the far left. So this is where we came in from right here. So we're at the far left one. Check that out. Blinking light. Door opens. Boom. Correct door. From here, you can just double jump all the way up on this tube right here. Head right here. Head on through. And then from here, you'll just go directly across. And then you will not go into this door. You're instead going to turn to the left, I believe. And jump right here. Aha, another blinking light. Head through. And then right here, we're not going to go through this door. That's another bait door. Instead, you're going to notice right when we get here, there's a little gap that you can see when you turn to the left. And we're going to fall down here. And then we'll turn to the right, make our way, turn to the right again. And we're going to see our final mechanical Scion, which is the Hacking Scion. The way the Hacking Scion works is you call it in, and you're going to find a little console that has this circle symbol on it. And you can interact with that circle symbol to call the Hacking Scion, and it will begin hacking that console. Once you tell the Hacking Scion to hack with that console, there will then be a second console somewhere in the arena. For this particular one, you're going to jump into this tube, head to the left, go to this ball, head to the right, hop up, and then you will see another console that you can execute the partner hack. So you basically have to, like, tag team the hack with the Scion, and then that will do whatever the hack needs to do. In this particular instance, it opens this door. There is one additional thing with the Hacking Scion, though. Once we get into this room, we're going to come over to the right side. For some of the puzzles with the Hacking Scion, there are going to be multiple different symbols that you can execute the partner hack with. And some of them are correct, or sorry, some of them are incorrect, and one of them is correct. So right here, you can see I can execute this partner hack on the symbol with like 2 upwards triangles. I can execute it with the symbol with the hourglass shape, or I can execute it right here on the one with the left pointing arrows. So in this particular room, the correct symbol that we execute the partner hack with is going to be on this console right here, opposite to where we entered. I see it's the double up arrows. So I know right there that, okay, double up arrows is the correct symbol. I'm going to come over here and execute the partner hack with the double up arrows. And as you can see, that is going to grant me elevator access. Now, as we fall down the elevator, there's going to be electricity that will kill you unless you shoot some specific nodes as you fall down the elevator. So as you can see right there, if I shoot that, it'll make the electricity go away. Tricky thing with these nodes is they only open when you get kind of close to them. So you need to kind of slowly ride your way down in slow momentum. Oh, come on! Okay, we're good. So beware of that. Then once the elevator's all the way down, this is where, like, times like this, where, like, Eager Edge Sword is kind of nice to have. We're gonna come to this big, like, bunker inside the, like, just floating on some water. We gotta get some Cabal enemies to spawn. We have to kill all of these enemies. Some particularly tanky ones over here. Mint Retrograde makes quick work of them. And then we'll get that guy. And then one more Legionary. And then that should open these doors in the middle right here, where we can go ahead and head on in. And now this part is particularly tricky. I'm going to try and explain it in as simple of a way as possible. We're first going to call the Hacking Scion. If you take note of this middle area here, you're going to notice 3 red symbols, and the order of them is important. We're going to read them like a book from left to... We're going to read them from a book in the sense that we're reading left to right, not top to bottom, right? So right here, this is basically telling us that the 3 symbols that we want to interact with in order are going to be the hourglass symbol, the double diamond symbol, and then the 2 up arrow symbol. There are going to be 3 different rooms that you can hack in this particular area. 1 room right there, 1 room to the right, and 1 room behind. So first, we need to figure out which room is going to allow us to hack with the hourglass symbol. So if I run over here to the back room, I'm going to look at the 3 symbols back here, and I do not see any of them are the hourglass symbol. I see the double diamond symbol, but I need to do the hourglass symbol first. So I'm going to go to one of the different rooms. And I see, boom, right there. There is the hourglass symbol. So this is the first room that I will do because that was the first symbol I saw when reading from left to right. So I'm going to call the Hacking Scion right here. And then to get to the other room, I'm going to need to go through some vents. So we'll shoot that vent right there. Shoot that one up top. Hop up. Vent to the right to get inside. And make our way up. Shoot this vent. And I believe you have to kill all of the enemies in this room to be able to execute the partner hack. I'm not 100% sure, but it makes it easier and cleaner, so why not? So as we said before, we need to do the hourglass symbol. So if we do this one, it'll say security code fragment accepted, and now we can go and do the second symbol. I will note as well, when it comes to interacting and executing the partner hacks, getting the prompt to pop up can be a little bit finicky. So you might have to like wiggle a little bit in front of the console to be able to actually get the prompt to execute the hack. So we're going to hop up here. The next symbol when reading from left to right is going to be the double diamond symbol. So we're going to go ahead and figure out which room is that. Boom, see it right there. So we'll call the Hacking Scion to this terminal, and then we'll make our way over to that room. So we'll shoot the walls right here. 1 in the ground. 1 above us. And then again, not sure if you have to, but just going to kill all the enemies in the room to make it easy. And then we'll execute the put. See what I said right there? Yeah, it's kind of funky. So boom, there's our second security fragment code accepted. And now we simply need to do the final room and do the last one. So we'll run over here. Head through the vents that we had previously shot out. And it looks like it is the double up arrow. So if I look right here, boom, there's the double up arrow right there. So we'll call the Hacking Scion. This one vent will be to the right. And then vent to the left to get inside. So we'll head in here. Smoke all these enemies. Got a tangle in front of the console we need to interact with. Double up arrow. And this will be security code 3 out of 3. And we are good to go. So we'll then make our way back to the middle room. Head on over here. And we'll have some enemies that just spawned in that we'll have to kill. Not particularly difficult from a combat perspective, nothing crazy. Normal difficulty is not that demanding, it would seem. Once we clear out all of these enemies, I believe it will end with a Colossus, Deathwatch Commander. We'll just kill the rest of these guys. And boom, once we kill everything, we'll be able to interact with this terminal right here to activate the WARSAT elevators. So we'll go ahead and do that. That'll spawn us a chest, give us some loot, and then we have to override 2 grav lifts. So from this perspective, we can either go to the left or to the right. I'll just go ahead and go to the left, because why not? And you're going to see an elevator that you can wait for it to come down, and that'll take you up into the sky. And, not the sky, I guess, the upper part of the building, whatever. And you'll notice we have these radiation things once again. This is where having something like Grapple Grenade or Ascension or an Eager Edge Sword is really, really nice. I'm going to show you how to do this without utilizing Grapple Grenade or Eager Edge or anything like that. But I'm sure, as you can see, Grapple Grenade, Eager Edge, going to make it very easy and nice to be able to skip some of these. So if you want to go ahead and take advantage of Grapple Grenade, Eager Edge, please be my guest. So once we get up here, we'll go to the left. That'll allow us to call in the Radiation Scion, and we'll get 15 seconds of that radiation shielding. And we'll start our way by hopping over here to the left. And we're just going to kind of follow the path that is kind of like most obvious, if that makes sense. And again, like I said, the radiation it really doesn't do that much damage to you at all. So if you do get hit by it a little bit, it's completely okay. The biggest thing to note about it, honestly, is that it slows you down. It makes you, like, heavier almost. So it'll make your jumping a little more rough. That's the main thing to be concerned about. So we're basically making our way over here. We're trying to get right there, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of running, continuing on. You see there's an opening in this tube right here. And then we'll head to the left once we get inside the tube. Kill these enemies, and right here there will be this console that we can interact with, and that will override one of the 2 grav lifts. After we interact with that, we can run towards this Rasputin looking thing, and it'll actually be a teleporter that'll take us to the grav lift area. So as you can see, one of them is a green light. We need to get the other one to be a green light, so we're gonna head to the left this time to do the other grav lift override. I'm just going to take advantage of a little bit of Eager and a little bit of Grapple to speed up the video. Obviously, you guys can see where the path would have been right there. But right here, once again, Radiation Shielding Scion, if you want to. Again, it's really not necessary. I'm not going to lie. For these jumping puzzles, you can very easily do it without it by just, like, waiting for the Radiation Blast to go off and just kind of timing it. But up to you. So we're going to head over here. We'll do another Radiation Scion, just because why not? We'll do it the way that it was kind of intended, I suppose. Hop up here. Once you get up here, you'll see this little platform up and to the right that we're going to go ahead and hit. And then once we're here, we can make our way over here. Head up top. And again, so like right here, I kind of mistimed the jump. I can just eat the radiation poisoning for a little bit. It's really not that big of a deal. And then once I see it go away, I know my jump works perfectly fine. It's like, it really doesn't matter. Like, the only thing is don't jump while you still have it, because like I said, it makes you heavier, so you won't be able to make the jumps, but that's about it. And once you get to this bridge, you'll see this little thing with the yellow top. You'll hop up on top of that, and then you can actually jump up into the final tube. And that'll be the other grav lift override that you'll be able to interact with. Now we're 2 of 2, head back to the teleporter, and now we will be able to go up the grav lift into the final room of the mission, if you can believe that. I know, it's a very short mission. Very, very, very short mission. Surprisingly short. At least it's free, I guess, right? In the final room, you'll have all 3 of the Scions automatically spawn to help you. Step 1 is going to head to the back right of the room to kill the Radiolarial Minotaur. And go ahead and stand in the puddles so you, of course, get the Radiolarial Suffusion / Saturation buff. so that the Quicksilver Scion will then come and help you open a door. Specifically, he is going to come help you open this door over here. So you can kind of sit here and wait for him if you would like. He takes a second sometimes. He'll make his way over here. Don't worry. Don't worry about what's going on over there. Just go ahead and hit the door. Thanks, buddy. So we'll help him dissolve the door, and then we'll run up. Kind of run to the right, head up the staircase, and up here we will be able to call our hacking Scion to begin hacking this console right here. Excuse me. And then we will need to, you don't need to worry about remembering this symbol because there's only one execute partner hack symbol option on the other side of it. I have no idea why they didn't make you remember the symbol for the final room. I feel like final rooms are supposed to like force you to do the hardest version of all the mechanics that you've learned. So I digress. Once you interact with that, you'll just hop right back down here. This door will open. You can get back to the main area of the arena. And there will be another Radiolarial Minotaur sitting right there. Just kill him, stand in the puddle, get the full Radiolarial saturation buff. And then Quicksilver Scion will go ahead and begin opening the door on the other side for you so you can execute the partner hack with your hacking Scion that you just assigned to the console in the previous room. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Thank you. So go ahead and dunk that. Similar layout to the room. Jump up. Kill these enemies. And then we'll go ahead and execute the partner hack right here. And that will go ahead and spawn the final boss. The only boss. So once he spawns, pretty easy, honestly. Just pull out the Mint Retrograde. Proc bait and switch on it if you want to. Couple bursts will take him down to 1 HP. And then when you get to his divider, he will go immune. And then he will start doing the radiation blasts. And you cannot get to the protection Scion because he spawns a Wyvern. So you need to spawn a Wyvern, or you need to kill the Wyvern, sorry. Killing the Wyvern will release your Scions, and then you can go and hug your radiation Scion so that you don't get damaged by this radiation right here. Nothing too complicated or hard. Then we'll go back to pulling out the Mint Retrograde, blasting the boss. Nice and easy, and then once we hit another divider, our Scions will get captured again. This time the Wyvern will be in the back of the room. So again, Mint Retrograde makes quick work of him. Quick little 2 burst that will release our Scions. Then we can come over here, acquire our Psionic Protection buff, and then we can go ahead and put the final boss to bed. Very, very easily. A couple Mint Retrograde bursts. Ta-da! He is dead. And then eventually everything will slowly but surely despawn. And then all you have to do to finish the mission is wait for the rally circle right here to pop up to call the Scions. I don't know why they disappear, and then you have to call them again. That seems weird. Well, like, why did they go away if I'm just going to call them right back? I don't know. It's weird. But once you call them in, you'll go ahead and shoot the Warsat right here and break it open. And then you can hop forward and, or it should let you interact with it in a sec. There we go. Reach through time right there. And boom! That is the mission. And that is what will give you the exotic axe. Wolfsbane. Exotic axe, exotic sword, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. 21 minutes, 22 minutes. Not too bad. You know, we won't comment too much on the quality of the mission. We can save that discourse for the live stream. Twitch.tv/Mactics, by the way. Feel free to stop by. The purposes of this video is primarily showing you how to get the axe as a solo player relatively quickly, and then let's see if it's actually any good. If it's decent, if it's useful. So right here we see we have Resurgence Directive. Light attacks generate sword energy and have the chance to spawn seeking Quicksilver nanites that heal the wielder upon attacking. We've also got Tenacious Handle, where traditional guarding is disabled in favor of offensive capabilities, gain greatly increased damage resistance, from being in combat for an extended duration. And then finally we have Nano Assault. Quicksilver nanites that attach to the wielder charge the blade. We can do a special reload when fully charged to overclock the attached nanites, enhancing the blade's offensive capabilities. Light attacks deal increased damage to targets, and fully charged heavy attacks create a flaming Quicksilver Swarm tornado. So, if we pop on over here, and let's call in the boss. So as you can see in the bottom left, we have Nano Assault. So as far as I can tell, if we go ahead and hit this guy, it's going to generate nanites. Those are going to heal me, and that's going to fill up the Nano Assault meter. And as you can see, it actually changes how the axe looks the more the Nano Assault meter gets filled up. So we'll go ahead and fill up the Nano Assault meter. And then we should be able to do the special reload. I'm going to reset the damage to see how decent the damage is looking with this thing. We'll do special reload. And that is then going to give us 10 seconds of Nano Assault to give us increased damage on our light attacks. And then it also lets us do a NATO. Ah. And so with that, we're doing, let's see here. If we just do our regular damage, let me actually reset real quick. If we're doing our regular damage with the axe, it looks like our DPS is approximately like 900 to 1,000, as you can see there on the DPS thing right there, about 900 to 1,000. And then if we do our empowered mode with the Nano Assault and we spam our light attacks, it looks like we're getting approximately 20-ish% DPS buff on the light attacks. Looks like we went from about 1,000 to maybe somewhere in the 2,000 range. It dropped off a little bit because my Nano Assault ran out. And then I'm curious what the damage is looking like if we just like spam the fire tornadoes. Oh, interesting. The base heavy attack does like almost like a thermite grenade, basically. That's something. So we'll go ahead and keep whacking, get the Nano Assault meter completely filled up. I'm curious what the DPS can look like if we maximize our tornadoes plus our empowered light attacks. So we'll go ahead and activate it. We'll start with a heavy attack for the tornado, and then we'll do light attacks until we can heavy attack again to hopefully do another tornado. It looks like, though, that our first tornado disappears when we dish out another tornado. I'm not sure if that's just because the tornadoes don't really last that long, or if that's because you're not allowed to have more than one tornado up on the field at a time. So if we keep whacking in, get our Nano Assault back. Let me take a peek at this. So if I do the empowered and we throw that, tornadoes last like 1, 2, 3. Lasts about like 3 seconds, it looks like. I think it might just be that the tornado just really doesn't last that long, to be completely honest. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of how good you think this exotic axe is. Up to you. Definitely an interesting weapon to use. First axe in the game, which is kind of cool, even though it's technically labeled as a sword. But yeah. I'm assuming this is craftable as well, now that I think about it, because I grabbed the pattern for it. Let me go ahead, final thing that we'll do. Let me go to Savathun's Throne World and head to the crafter to see what perks we are able to craft on this axe. What I will say is, like, my initial impressions, it doesn't seem that great. I feel like you're probably better off just using Lament if you do want to go with a DPS sword. Especially if you know the Lament combo where it's 2 light, 1 heavy, 2 light, 1 heavy, 2 light, etc., etc. Or sorry, it's 2 light to charge, heavy to let it rip, and then 2 light attacks to let the heavy recharge enough, and then it's like the 2 try, you know, back and forth, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I feel like an initial impression, it definitely feels like Lament is significantly better. I'm going to see what this thing is capable of being crafted with, though, and see if there's anything that can make this look a little bit more promising, because unfortunately at the current moment it's not looking that great. Swords, Wolfsbane, excuse me. Looks like we can get Attrition Orbs, Relentless Strikes, Burning Ambition, or Subroutine Recursion, which is definitely a perk unique to this. Quicksilver nanites grant more health the greater your stacks of Nano Assaults are. Taking damage while Nano Assault is active has the chance to generate nanites nearby. So those are the 4 refits that you can get. I will, of course, and then we obviously have some catalysts, or intrinsics, rather, sorry, that you can get on it as well. I will do my best to figure out how to get those ASAP and make a video on that as well to show you guys how you can go ahead and get all of the available perks and intrinsics that are available on this axe slash sword. So I hope you found this guide video helpful. I hope you enjoy the new exotic axe, and I hope you enjoy playing the new exotic mission, as short and quick as it may be. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.